Welcome back. In this video, we are continuing our Wireshark series by learning how to inspect packets in details using packet details pane. Understanding packet dissection is one of the most important skills you develop while analyzing network traffic because it allows you to see exactly how data is structured and how it travels across the network. By the end of this lecture, you will know how to navigate through the different protocol layers in Wireshark and understand what each layer tells you. Let's get started. When analyzing network traffic in Wireshark, you will often want to inspect what's inside a specific packet. In this example, I'll be reviewing packets. Let me use a number 27 for this example. So one useful feature to remember is that whenever you click on any field inside the packet details pane, Wireshark automatically highlights the corresponding bytes in the packet pane. So the reason is because this makes it much easier to understand how the human readable information relates to the actual raw data being transmitted over the network. Now let's take a closer look at packet details pane. You can see the packet details pane here. You can see all that here. When you look closer here, you can see that the packet is organized into several expandable sections, with each section representing a different protocol or layer involved in the communication. These layers help break down the packet into smaller and easier to understand components. We're going to talk about the packet frame, the source MAC address, the source IP, the transport protocol, and the protocol error when applicable, then the application protocol and all that in application data. So we'll discuss each of these one after the other. Let's go through each of them. So in the frame section, this section contains information about packet itself. So here you'll find details about the packet number, the time it was captured, the frame length. You're going to see all that here. So if you check well, you can see frame length, you see, right? So you can see capture length here. So there's a lot of information going on there. Wireshark also records information related to the packet capture process, although it's commonly associated with the layer 1. So think of this section as the metadata about the captured packet rather than the actual network traffic. So we go to the number 2 here. So the first one is the frame. So let me expand this Ethernet section here. So when you look here, you can see things like the MAC address and all that. So this section represents the data layer of the OSI model. Here you will see the source and destination MAC address, which are the hardware addresses assigned to the network device on the local network. So these addresses are only used for communication within the same network segment and changes whenever the packet passes through a router. Layer 3 is where you get the source IP address. The Internet Protocol IP section belongs to the network layer of the OSI model. It displays source and destination IP addresses. So when you go through each of your file, you can see, as you can see, the source address is here, the destination address of this particular packet and how the communication was going through. So this is the layer where when you're looking for the source IP and destination address, this is where to capture it. So you will also find additional information such as the time to leave. As you can see here, the time to leave 55, the packet length, fragmentation details. So when you look here, you see fragment offsets. So we can also check for other fields that help router deliver packets to their destination. So let's go to the fourth layer, which is here. So here in the fourth layer, it's called the transport protocol. So in the fourth layer here, you see protocols such as TCP or UDP. This section shows you important informations, including source and destination port number. So you can see the source port 80, the destination port. So it's going to show you the acknowledgement number for the TCP flag, the window size, the checksums, every information is here, and other transport specific details. So this information helps you understand how devices establish and manage network connections. So let's go to the subsection here. After this, the transmission control protocol. You see another one here. In my own, I have two reassembled TCP segments. So depending on your file, so this part we call it the protocol error. So sometimes you notice a section labeled the protocol error. So it's not always, but sometimes, depending on what you're capturing. So this isn't an actual OS layer. Instead, it's additional information provided by Wireshark when something unusual occurs. So for example, Wireshark may indicate that certain TCP segments needs to be reassembled before the complete application data could be reconstructed. So it may also help display warning about malfunction packets, retransmission, duplicate acknowledgements, or the checksum issues. So these details are extremely useful when troubleshooting network problem. So that's it for that one. So we go to this part, which is the fifth layer. The fifth layer is the application protocol. So the application protocol section contains information about the application generating the network traffic. So depending on the packets, you may see protocols such as HTTP. So you can also see HTTPS, DNS, FTP, SMB, SSH, and many other protocols. So this section displays protocol specific field that helps you understand exactly what the application is doing. For example, with HTTP traffic, you see the request method as drop down. You can even see the URL, the requested URL, the response code, the header, and other useful information. So after this, we go to this part. This part is the application data. This part contains the actual data being carried by the application protocol. So depending on the protocol and whether the traffic is encrypted, you may be able to view readable content such as the web requests, the DNS queries, the file transfers, or other application specific information. So if the traffic is encrypted like HTTPS, the application data will typically appear encrypted and won't be readable without the appropriate decryption keys. But if it's not, you are going to see, let's say if it's like a password or whatever, you're going to see it at this point. Packet dissection is one of Wireshark's most powerful features. Instead of viewing packets as raw hexadecimal data like this, Wireshark organizes them into protocol layers, making it easier to understand how devices communicate across the network. So this wraps up this lesson on packet dissection in Wireshark. So in the next video, we'll continue exploring more Wireshark features and techniques that every blue team analyst and cybersecurity professional should know. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification so you won't miss the rest of the Wireshark and Blue Team series. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.